city's South and West Side homeowners are angry. They believe the city has overextended itself and should be putting the tens of millions of dollars earmarked for migrants into Chicago's most vulnerable neighborhoods.
But the South Side has been under-resourced, underfunded for years, for decades. We have schools that need to be reopened. We have buildings that are abandoned that need to be business operated.
The group says the city has abandoned its Invest Southwest initiative, a Lightfoot-era program that was dedicated to reversing decades of disinvestment on Chicago's South and West Sides, promising to align more than $2.2 billion through public and private funding.
We are taxpayers, we're property owners. Our money should go towards fixing our communities.
The city has received more than 15,000 migrants since August 2022.
We have no more room. Y'all are embarrassing Chicago as a whole.
But I came into contact with just Alderman Rosa and myself there. And he says, you can't go into this meeting. I felt like I was back in the South. I felt like everything in me was shaking.
What is good, YouTube family? It's your boy Rashad with the Black Anomaly Rising channel. Wow, this story is insane. It's almost unbelievable. I don't know what the hell this guy was thinking. So this guy, Carlos Ramirez Rosa, took an action of blocking a fellow city councilwoman from entering a chamber to be a part of a vote as it relates to migrants, or whether or not there's going to be grant the ability for citizens to vote on whether or not Chicago is going to be a sanctuary city. So essentially, if the city council, determines that this is up for vote, then the voters can actually vote on this issue if that's what they determine. And this guy decides to take it upon himself to literally block a black woman from entering the chamber on this. It's insane. Take a look.
Now to CBS 2's exclusive video showing the tense moments sparking bullying accusations against a Chicago alderman.
The exchange has Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa stepping down from key leadership posts on city council. Here in video you'll see only on two, the 35th Ward alderman wearing a gray shirt and khaki pants seemingly grabs onto a colleague, then uses his body to block her from entering council chambers for a vote. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza was there as our cameras were rolling, and she has more now. Sabrina?
Joe, we were there as this began and heard shouting come from just behind council chambers. We realized at that moment that Alderwoman Emma Mitz was being blocked from entering by now former floor leader, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa.
Alderwoman Emma Mitz was trying to get into council chambers.
Let go of Emma. Do not hold her.
To vote on whether or not a referendum on the city's sanctuary city status would be on the ballot next March. Standing in her way, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa. He shakes his head as she eventually makes her way inside.
She was at a loss for words. She was like, I don't remember feeling like this since I was in the South as a child.
Alderwoman Mitz dialed in virtually to today's meeting. Alderman Gilbert Villegas previously held the same position as Ramirez Rosa, floor leader.
Your job is to try to whip votes to push the agenda, understanding that some folks are not going to always agree with you.
Standing in the doorway shouting Thursday, Alderman Ray Lopez. He eventually escorted Mitz to her seat.
I physically had to put my body into his, leaning into him so that he could no longer move, to keep blocking her so that she could make her way into the chamber to make for the 26th vote.
Alderwoman Nicole Lee is one of multiple alder people who filed a report with the Inspector General to look into this behavior.
I was unfortunately on the receiving end of a verbal threat to zoning in my ward should I not do what he was asking, which was to leave the room.
He's threatening me that he's not going to do anything in my ward or have development because I don't agree with the policies or for me doing my job here.
Threats from Ramirez Rosa, who was the chair on the city's zoning committee as well.
It was, if we're gonna work together for stuff in your ward, then you need to take a walk.
The mayor issued a statement about this, saying that he spoke to Ramirez Rosa and they both agreed that he should resign from his special assignments.
Alderman Ramirez Rosa not only physically tried to restrain a colleague, but also sent out
text messages to colleagues saying, don't come, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. He lied to members, he assaulted members, and then he threatened members as zoning committee chairman, saying that if you participate or if you vote for this measure, I'm going to withhold every zoning ordinance in your ward as long as I'm chairman.
So as you can see, this guy is caught red-handed. He tried to deny that he ever did anything, that he ever blocked anybody. But like they done talk about this guy done freaking bullied them, saying that he's gonna stop freaking doing projects for different people that are like requesting their projects move forward. He's literally trying to block the lady from entering. I mean, they're getting text messages meant to mislead them. So this lady, the person who was blocked, black woman Emma Mitz, she actually finally spoke on this. She took like a couple days, like over the weekend, and it looks like she just spoke on this issue today. So I'm glad I waited to make this video. So let's take a quick look and see what she had to say about this incident.
9:49 a.m. I was sent a text advising me to stay away from the council meeting. My text message read, "Good morning, Emma. I want to let you know that today's special meeting would not have a quorum. So if you have things to do in your ward, focus on that instead of wasting time coming downtown." Our floor leader, Rosa, came over to me and he says, "Do you know that the migrants get offended when they hear you all talking about them like that?" Hold on. I replied to floor leader Rosa, "My community get offended when our resources are being driven and taken away from us." Chairman Rosa told me afterward, he said, "You know, you shouldn't be in here." I said, "Well, why are you bothering me?" He says, "Because the rest of your colleagues are idiots." I told you where you could put that chairmanship. Because I'm here to represent my community. No one ever stands in the way of that in the 24 years I've serviced my constituents. But I came into contact with just Alderman Rose and myself there. And he says, "You can't go into this meeting," where I was literally blocked at that door with not manhandling, I don't call it, but more or less, "You can't go into the meeting." I take that stuff seriously. I don't call people idiots. Never would. And if I had not came here, then they want to know, where am I? I would be getting protested against. I felt like I was back in the South. I felt like everything in me was a shaking. It was unbecoming of anyone who's elected. There's some dark days ahead, as Dr. Martin Luther King said.
I'm not going to cap. Some of the stuff she said, I really don't know a whole lot about this woman, so I can't speak to who she is on the whole. But I speak to the energy. I feel the energy, coming off of her. And she seems like she's generally a genuine woman in terms of like what she's saying. And, some of the stuff she said almost brought me to tears, because I'm like, you literally are getting like bullied in your own government over migrants. This dude's calling his fellow colleagues idiots, and like, okay, sure, have we all said bad stuff about our coworkers before? I mean, sure, but I do think that you want to hold people to a little bit of a higher standard when you're like elected officials, because I mean, look what happens when you see what happens if you have a certain type of mentality. His mentality didn't just stay up in his head, and it didn't stay in it just making comments about people being idiots. It turned into him taking actions like, oh no, I'm going to force and make sure that this person doesn't go against my will because I care about these migrants. Now, I don't know why the hell he cares so much about the migrants. I don't know what type of mental sickness and illness that some of these people have to where they're like obsessing about the migrants and they just don't give a damn about the people that are actually their real constituents, the real citizens, the real voters, like, I don't know, it might be a race thing for all I know. I'm not saying that it is, but maybe it is because, you know, Chicago's high black population, maybe they don't give a damn about the population that's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But I'm just saying it is very strange. Like, you heard the clip. This guy says, oh, they get offended. The migrants get offended when you talk like that. And it's like, who the hell cares? Who cares if they feel offended? They're not citizens. They're not paying taxes on nothing besides maybe sales tax for anything that they buy. And they're probably not buying that much because you give them food and clothing for free. It's like, are you guys freaking serious with this? We care about the migrants' feelings. They don't give a damn about none of the people who voted for them. These people are a joke. A joke. It's unfreaking believable. We care about the migrants' feelings. Like, yo, this dude is going to be stepping down. So they did get him. Well, he, you know, I think they said that basically he talked with Mayor Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson was probably like, hey, big dog, this is a little too much. I'm going to need you to go ahead and hand over your badge. Like, we're going to have to get you the hell up out of there, right? So he agreed to step down, but he's not even stepping down immediately. They're talking about it's effective like next month, like December 1st or something like that. And I'm like, he need to get the hell up out of there today. You saw the way she was talking. She literally is talking like she's like afraid. She's talking about it remind her of the South, and she's in her 60s. I believe her when she said it. I don't think she's capping when she say that. She really felt bullied. She's like, why is this person literally thinking in their mind that they're going to get away with physically blocking me from entering and being a part of a vote as an elected official? You got to have a lot of damn audacity. Okay, a lot of audacity. Let me get up off of here before I say something else that might get me in trouble. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black and Only Rising channel. I'm so freaking disgusted by this idiot. I'm out.